So in this video I'm going to talk about how to spot graphs of direct and inverse proportion. So firstly, a direct proportion graph. If you recall, direct proportion means as one quantity increases, so does the other. So say for example I've got some pounds and I want to exchange them for euros. As the number of pounds increasing, the number of euros should increase. So if I've got many pounds, I will get many euros. Conversely, if I've got a small number of pounds, so if they're decreasing, the number of euros I will get back will also decrease. So a small number of pounds leads to a small number of euros. Now crucially, if I have no pounds, I will get no euros. So you'll notice a graph of direct proportion will be a straight line. The other thing to notice, which I'll come to in a moment, is it goes through 0, 0. If I have no pounds, I've got no euros. Now the gradient of this line may change, so it could be like this, it could be like this, but as long as it's a straight line and it goes through 0, 0, it's a direct proportion graph. Now let me tell you about a graph which looks like it could be in direct proportion, but it isn't. So let's imagine that you call out a plumber because you've got an emergency leak in your water supply in your house. If you call out a plumber, if he comes to your house, before he does any work whatsoever, he'll charge you some money. So basically the time that the plumber takes to do the job, if it's at 0, he's going to charge you some money anyway. That's what he calls his call out fee. So plumber arrives at your house, he does no work, but just because he arrives at your house, he's going to call you some money. Sorry, he's going to cost you some money. Then of course, as the time increases, the longer he spends on the job, the more he's going to charge you. So this, on face value, looks as if it is a direct proportion problem, but it isn't, because 0 time does cost you money. Okay, and finally, how to spot a graph of inverse proportion. So as you might recall, inverse proportion means as one quantity increases, the other quantity will decrease. So say for example, I've got a lot of workers working on a job, so my number of workers here, my number of workers is high. The amount of time that they need to spend on the job, because there's a lot of workers, will actually be quite small. So high number of workers, low amount of time. If I've got very few workers, so the number of workers decrease, the amount of time they would spend on the job would increase. Now depending on the relationship between the time and the number of workers, the inverse proportion graph will look like a curve like this.